So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. And in today's video, we have the Charlotte Hornets. So to put it nicely, I would say the Hornets are a dysfunctional franchise. It really never seems like anything is going right in terms of that team in general. Now, some things they have gotten right. LaMelo Ball is a young star point guard, probably going to be the franchise piece moving forward for many, many years. Brandon Miller had an incredible preseason, looked good in the summer league. He's definitely looking like he's going to be a really promising piece moving forward. But other than that, there's really not much to be excited about with this team. So here in today's video, in a 3-year rebuild, we have a really tough challenge ahead of ourselves because in this 3-year window, we have to turn this team into a championship contender and hopefully win one. As always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. Real quick, I'll try to keep this simple. There are 4 teams left to rebuild. It's the Sixers, the Wizards, the Rockets, and the Spurs. I'm going to get to them all probably this week, I promise you. I know I had kind of the goal of getting all the regular rebuilds done before the start of the NBA regular season. Obviously, that is tomorrow, which means that's not going to happen. So we'll have, 3 more to do after that? Not a big deal. Let me know which team you want me to do down below in the comment section. Then finally, I apologize. There was no video this past Friday. I was actually home for the weekend, spending some time with some family. I didn't get a chance to record before I left, so my apologies. I'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again. But yeah, man, this is obviously a dysfunctional franchise. Michael Jordan no longer in ownership, and yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of something positive. I'm just going to get into the video. Let's have a quick chat about this Charlotte Hornets roster. There's definitely some good, there's some bad, and there is definitely some ugly. So, starting out here at the point guard spot, LaMelo Ball is 22 years old. He's locked up on a long-term deal. He's an 86 overall. Pretty much a 0% chance he goes anywhere. I'll just start out by saying that. I like LaMelo Ball. I think he's the best player on this team. That's pretty obvious. He's the franchise piece. Frank Ntilikina is here. He's 25, 72 overall. I think it's pretty fair and kind of safe to say at this point that he's probably a draft bust. Most people expect more than this from a number 8 overall draft pick. I would say that. Theo Maledon is here. He's 22. Maybe can get some minutes at some point in time. I mean, again, it's... Do we enjoy Frank Ntilikina's defense more than we enjoy whatever the hell it is that Theo Maledon would provide? We'll figure it out. Terry Rozier is here, veteran shooting guard, basically 30 years old at this point, on a multi-year deal, so that's definitely something to consider moving forward. He's not a guy I have to trade immediately, but he's not really fitting the timeline very well, but to be fair, it is only a 3-year rebuild, so we'll see. Edmund Sumner is here, Nick Smith Jr., who is definitely going to be getting minutes. 27th overall pick this past year. Bryce McGowens is here, was a 2nd-round pick in 2022. And then I missed on this one. I was high on James Bouknight coming out of UConn. He was the 11th overall pick in 2021, and I don't think it's a hit. I think it's pretty safe to say that this is a miss. Maybe some people say he's not getting the minutes or the opportunity. I don't see this as a potential piece for them moving forward. That's just my opinion anyways. Small forward spot. Brandon Miller, obviously the number 2 overall pick this past year's draft. There was some conversation about whether it should have been him or Scoot Henderson. Brandon Miller has looked incredible so far. Now, obviously, we haven't seen him play an actual NBA game, but Summer League preseason, he was looking good. I'll just go out and say that. So, could be their franchise small forward moving forward. We'll see. Gordon Hayward is here. Not going to be a long-term option. I might even trade him before the start of year 1. We will see. Cody Martin is here. He's 28. It's a decent depth piece, I would say. The power forward spot, obviously Miles Bridges agreed to come back. Or, well, I guess more so the Hornets agreed to let Miles Bridges come back. They couldn't agree on a long-term contract, so I think he just accepted as qualifying. We'll see. PJ Washington is here on a 3-year deal, and then JT Thor here as well. He's 71, maybe get some time, I don't know. Center spot is interesting because Mark Williams and Nick Richards are both relatively young, especially Williams, and there's definitely a little bit of potential here. Obviously, we saw the situation with Kai Jones kind of unfold. He went a little bit crazy, and Charlotte decided to, kind of cut him, but we still have 2 really promising players here with Williams and Richards. I think they definitely could be my centers for this video. We will see. It depends how progression goes, but we definitely have 1 or 2 trades coming. For whatever reason, the Miami Heat want to give me a 1st-round pick for Gordon Hayward, and they're also going to throw in Kyle Lowry to make the money work. I mean, again, we're not making a significant upgrade or anything like that. Kyle Lowry at 37, obviously not a long-term piece, but a free 1st-round pick for a guy that I probably wasn't going to keep anyways and is on an expiring deal is good with me. So, I mean, on the flip side of this, I'm going to try to just trade Kyle Lowry immediately. Again, he's definitely an upgrade at the backup point guard spot, but this is not like a championship contending year 1, and Lowry's 37 and expiring. So, I mean, if there's any assets out there that I can possibly pick up for Kyle Lowry, I'll probably do it. I'm not seeing much, but what I am seeing here, Ben Simmons. Do I take a flyer here on Ben Simmons? Actually looked pretty decent in the preseason so far. Yeah, I'm not giving up a first round draft pick, but I also don't really need a power forward. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to pick up Ben Simmons. We give up a trade exception as well, but Simmons is on a multi-year deal. And again, isn't going to be super, super valuable moving forward, but I think could provide maybe some value at some point in time. So I have no idea what Simmons' overall is if you move him to different positions. He's the same there. Actually goes up at small forward. Fuck it. We'll leave him as a small forward. He's going to be the backup behind Brandon Miller. That's fine by me. So welcome to Charlotte, Ben Simmons. I don't even know. Power forward? Cool. All right. Maybe one or two. I don't know. Because Nick Smith Jr. is definitely playing. If anybody wants to trade me anything for Edmund Sumner, you probably can. Because Nick Smith Jr. is definitely going to be getting minutes. Ooh, is that a first round pick? Thank you very much. Cleveland. Ooh, Miami wants to do it again. We'll just do this here with the Knicks. All right, we're all set. Let's set the rotation. So I went ahead and checked. Our first-round draft pick is currently owned by the San Antonio Spurs. Now, it is lottery protected. I'm assuming this is probably a lottery team, but it just means we won't have our first next year. So definitely something just to keep kind of in the back of our head moving forward. Rotation's all set. It's LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams. Probably really shouldn't be many surprises in that 1 through 5. Bench unit's decent, I'll say that. Especially, it's got a little top heavy on the bench. But PJ Washington, Nick Richards, Ben Simmons, Nick Smith Jr., and Frank Ntilikina. So, again, this isn't a contending team. This is probably not even a play-in team. But we're going to be bad. We're going to have a good pick. That's all I can hope for. So, I'll see you guys at the end of year 1. Year 1 is over, and I'm pretty happy that it is. We won 19 games. Obviously, that is not a good season by any means. Literally, the only positive here is that we're going to have a good draft pick. Joel Embiid, I guess that would technically be back-to-back MVPs. Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul, Nick Claxton, Paul Reed, Trae Young, Nick Nurse, Tyler Jamison. All right, let's get into it because we'll take a full look right now at everything, see where we're projected in terms of pick. We were the worst team in the East. We had the worst record in basketball, which means, obviously, we are projected the number 1 overall pick. Obviously, as I'm sure many of you know, the bottom 3 teams all have the same odds. So let's take a look at the numbers. This is obviously a little bit more important. The LaMelo Ball was good, 21.5 points, 5 boards, 8 assists, 1.5 steals a game. I'll take that. It's behind him, Terry Rozier. Brandon Miller, pretty solid rookie campaign. 15, 5, 4.5, 3.5. Bridges, Washington, Nick Smith Jr. Actually pretty good. I mean, I think he only played 14 minutes, so about 9 points. It's pretty good rookie season for Nick Smith Jr. All right, I mean, other than that, obviously, there's not many positives to a 19-win season. You really got to look deep if you want to find something. So we're not going to dig too deep. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody expected too much from us this year. Let's sim through the playoffs real quick. It is looking like it's a Sixers and Warriors finals. You got Harden versus Curry, and look at the Sixers. Joel Embiid, Finals MVP. Same year he won his 2nd straight MVP. All right, cool. Player retirements. Cool. Staff retirements. Awesome. Draft lottery. This is obviously a very important moment for us. So as you can see right there, it's projected number 1. I have no idea what trade that dates back to. I'm trying to think of like a big deal between the Charlotte Hornets and the San Antonio Spurs, but I don't have one off the top of my head. We were at number 2, so honestly, that's actually not too bad. Typically, I fall a lot further. The number 2 overall pick is definitely fine by me. All right, Steve Clifford is, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll give him one more year because those ratings are actually a little better than I thought they were, but if, I put out a much better product next year than what we had this year, we still suck. See you later, Steve. All right, so number 2 overall pick, and other than that, we have 18 from Boston in round 2. Let's just take a look. I mean, obviously, there are some promising young players here. I don't really need somebody like Isaiah Collier just because a point guard spot's kind of locked up. Ron Holland maybe could either play him or Miller at the 3, 4, whatever it may be. Toss Buzelis. I mean, there are some options here. Justin Edwards wouldn't even be a bad pick. Obviously, could look to replace Terry Rozier. He was just our 2nd leading scorer. But obviously some decisions could be made. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. I'll either see you guys in the draft, maybe a trade. Oh my God, we just got Evan Mobley. Holy shit, I probably overpaid. But Evan Mobley is so dominant in this game, it's not even funny. Now, this was a huge trade. It was Cody Martin, Bryce McGowan. Those were the only 2 players. The number 2 overall pick was in there. I think it was 3 other first. So a very hefty price to pay. And really one of the main reasons I did is because I know how easily I can kind of recuperate first-round picks. I'm not terribly worried about that. Martin and McGowans were never even going to play for me anyways. And then number 2 overall pick for an established, really good player and really young player, honestly, in Evan Mobley. I'll take it. So we're not going to be drafting anybody today, but a 23-year-old, 86 overall, who might be pushing a 90 by the time we start next year. I'm sorry. I'm done with Miles Bridges. Fuck Miles Bridges, dude. I'm not. No. Okay. Other than that, we do have the 18th overall pick in round 2. I don't really need it, so thank you very much, Cleveland. And we're not going to be drafting anybody, which is fine by me. There's obviously some young players in this team anyways. Mark Williams, JT Thor can both come back. Qualifying offers, Teo Malden. Probably not at this point in time. I think we're going to look to move on. Maybe get a little upgrade at the backup point guard spot. So Miles Bridges is a free agent. As much as I think he's kind of a scumbag, I'm not really going to go ahead and just let him go for nothing. I think he could be a pretty valuable trade piece for me. So I also would like to upgrade or maybe just swap out my shooting guard spot. I love Scary Terry. He was one of my favorite Celtics when he was with us. But yeah, I mean, again, he's 30 and that overall is not going up. So we're going to try to find somebody a little bit more potential. Obviously, we're happy with Brandon Miller here. I think Ben Simmons, we only added him because he's going to be, I guess, a trade piece moving forward. And I'm not really even sure what the trade value on, no, not LaMelo Ball, on Ben Simmons would be right now. Like, just genuinely curious. Chaya Bajay, I'm not giving up another draft pick, though. Tim Hardaway Jr., Marvin Bagley. I don't really need a power forward. Yeah, it looks like the majority of these... Ooh. Wow. I could get behind this. I think I can definitely get behind that trade here. We don't give up a single draft pick. We get Lou Dort, who's an upgrade from Ben Simmons, and we get Daniel Gafford, who's arguably an upgrade from Nick Richards. 100%. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do this. Well, that's a great trade for us. So we now have our new backup small forward here in Lou Dort. Very excited to see what he can do off the bench for us. And Daniel Gafford is a really nice piece here behind Mark Williams. So I know we also have... Who the hell is it? I forget. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Nick Richards, right? Nick Richards, yeah. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-sign Miles Bridges. Then I'm probably going to trade him. Did I trade away Nick Richards? Did I have him in the trade? I don't know. I'm blanking right now. Nonetheless, Miles Bridges agrees to come back. Everybody else pretty much free to go. We also have a $1 million trade exception from the Gordon Hayward deal. But, yeah, at this point in time, Miles Bridges can probably go. P.J. Washington did a fine job backing him up. He's going to do the exact same thing behind Mobley. So let's probably trade Washington, maybe Rozier, and see if we can find maybe some sort of upgrade at the shooting guard spot. We're making a pretty big trade here with the Houston Rockets. I know I got Şengün the other day, and I'll take a break from getting him after this. But honestly, there's only 2 trade offers. And, yeah, I wasn't really feeling Bradley Beal. So, Şengün's going to come here. We also pick up Fred VanVleet, who I think there's a couple different options with. One, we could keep him. He is making a shit ton of money, but he would be a really good backup point guard. Really good kind of leader of a second unit. So there's definitely a potential. The other avenue we could explore is maybe including him in a trade and trying to find a shooting guard now, because we don't really have anybody. I know I said I was looking for a shooting guard, but honestly, when I saw Şengün, and again, it's not a shot at Mark Williams, I just think Şengün's a clear upgrade. So maybe we include Fred VanVleet for a shooting guard now. I mean, again, it's not 100% a necessity. I mean, I could just plug Nick Smith in there for a year, but I don't really think that's the smartest thing in the world to do. So let's work on another deal. Our next deal is going to come here with the Toronto Raptors. We're sending Fred VanVleet, I guess, back to Toronto. We're picking up OG Anunoby. He's going to be my new starting shooting guard. Again, it's just Nick Smith Jr., I think, showed a lot of promise in year 1. He's not going to be a starter on a hopeful championship team at some point. So OG Anunoby's going to come in here, obviously very defensive-minded shooting guard. We're also picking up Jakob Poeltl. We do have to trade away Mark Williams, which kind of sucks. Poeltl's really good as well. So we do have to give up a first-round pick in 2027. We've given away a lot of assets this year, but I'm feeling pretty good about this team. So at this point in time, I think Daniel Gafford, who we did just pick up, could just be on his way out. We got Poeltl, who's better. We obviously traded for Şengün. So Gafford's probably going to get me some sort of backup point guard. And I don't really know who that's going to be. But it's probably going to be somebody that's, I don't know, serviceable. Ooh, Terrence Mann. Not a bad option right there. Gabe Vincent is here in a multi-year deal. I just know Gabe Vincent's overall goes down. So I don't know if I really want to risk that moving forward. But you know what? Let's go ahead and pick up Terrence Mann from the Clippers here. On a 1-year deal, definitely something to keep in mind. But he's a good backup point guard option for us. So I'm liking this team. We've obviously changed some things around. Also, JT Thor probably just not going to be able to get the minutes here. So thank you very much, Milwaukee. And then I don't know if AJ Green has any trade value. But if he does, I will definitely take it. Is that a first? That is a first. That is definitely something to keep in mind. Ooh, actually, thank you very much, San Antonio. All right, that is it. We've obviously kind of changed the identity of this team. I'm very excited to see how everything looks moving forward. I'll see you guys at the rotation at the start of year 2. We had a pretty crazy first offseason here in Charlotte. We went ahead and changed 3 out of 5 starters on this team. and we basically have an entirely new bench. Just an absolutely crazy offseason, really kind of changing the identity of what this team has been for so many years and what it is now. I'm feeling pretty good. LaMelo Ball's up to a 90 overall. He obviously didn't go anywhere. OG Anunoby now his pairing in the backcourt. Excited to see what those two can do together. Brandon Miller's progressing up to an 81 overall after a very promising rookie year. Obviously, Mobley is just a stud young big man. I mean, he's a 90 overall. I think I predicted he would go up to 90. It's pretty obvious, but you know what I'm saying. I'm very happy we were able to trade for him. And then obviously Şengün here at the center spot. The bench unit, Lou Dort's going to be my sixth man. Followed by him is Jakob Poeltl, PJ Washington, Terrence Mann, and Nick Smith Jr. I know Nick Smith Jr. played, 14 minutes year one, and he played relatively well for us. Not saying he couldn't do that again, but the bench has improved. Things changed. He's going to be the last guy. It sucks. It is what it is. So, yeah, man, I think this could be a playoff team this year. I really do. Obviously, some things have to go our way, but I like this group a lot. I do. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. 3 straight MVPs for Joel Embiid, but more importantly, one of my maybe favorite turnarounds I've had so far in 2K23 year over year. I mean, we won 19 games last year, and we won 59 this year. Just an absolutely insane difference. We are feeling on top of the world right now. Donovan Clingan's your rookie of the year. He is in DC CP3 sixth man. Giannis is your DPOY. Scoot Henderson most improved. Anthony Edwards clutch player of the year. Nick Nurse coach of the year. So it does not appear with the best record, at least not in the East anyways, and that would obviously make sense. And yeah, I mean, but we're the 2 seed. 59 wins for a team that not only won 19 last year, but has just been such a dog shit poverty franchise. No offense, Hornets fans. For so long, it feels good. So I'm happy. It's the second best record in all of basketball. Let's take a look at the stats. I'm sure some things are a little bit different this year. LaMelo Ball up to 25, 6, and 10 almost. Incredible. Brandon Miller really emerging as our second scoring option. Evan Mobley was super good for us. Şengün, OG Anunoby, Lou Dort, Washington, Poeltl, Nick Smith Jr., Terrence Mann. All right, rebounds going to be Evan Mobley, and assists was LaMelo Ball. So we're facing a play-in team. We are facing a play-in team. That sounds so weird. And it's the Milwaukee Bucks. What? How? How is this a play-in team? God damn it. I don't care how old they are. Giannis and Dame never should be in the conversation of playing. They should always be a top, probably 4 seed with the worst. We are up 3-2 right now. We're going to Game 7. Thank God we win. All right, we're moving on to the 3-seeded Pistons. Obviously young and talented, but maybe a little bit more manageable. And no disrespect to Jonas Valanciunas, but Nick Claxton should not be on the bench for him. All right, let's go here in the Eastern Conference semifinals. We're 1-1 with Detroit. We go down 2-1. We go down 3-1. All right. Yeah, that's all she wrote. Okay, that's disappointing. It was a promising season, though. I'm definitely going to take it. The Pistons actually go on to win it all, and Cade Cunningham is your finals MVP. All right, interesting. LeBron James calls it a career, same with CP3, Lowry. He actually called it a career like yesterday, I think, in real life. Al Horford, Thad Young. All right, staff retirements. Popovich, GOAT going down. All right, let's get into it. We're not going to have a lottery pick. I think I've traded away almost every single draft pick we have, and even if we had our first-round pick, which I don't think we do, yeah, it wouldn't have been in the lottery. So let's just sim through this. Now comes a big decision. Do I keep Steve Clifford? I don't know. I do not know. Frank Vogel actually has some really good ratings. You know, it's not often that I can kind of talk myself into Frank Vogel, but those ratings are good. And if I want to mix it up from getting Stauffer or Underwood, I might just go get Frank Vogel. Because look at those ratings, specifically offensive and defense. You know what? Fuck it. I don't think I've ever done this before, but let's go out and sign Frank Vogel. Well, I tried. I'd like it on the record that I attempted to go out and get a new coach. What is Mark Dagnall's ratings? Yeah, they're pretty similar to Clifford's here. Yeah, I guess it's just going to be an Underwood day. I tried. I would have happily had Frank Vogel here. We're going to take Jacob Underwood. Obviously, I've won with him before. I'm not mad about it, but it is what it is. All right, so up to the draft. We do not have any draft picks. That's fine. I don't think any sort of 19, 20-year-old kid was coming in here and helping too much. Miller and Nick Smith Jr. are both going to be coming back qualifying. Mobley and Şengün are both huge. I mean, that's our front court right there. Both literally and figuratively huge. And we also have Terrence Mann. So we're just going to pay everybody. I'm not going to risk letting anybody leave. I just want to get everybody back and hopefully call it a day. Terrence Mann can come back. Maybe could move him. I don't know. We'll see. But that's obviously good. We get all 3 of those guys back. At this point, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 trades. I don't know exactly what they could be, but maybe we beef up the bench a little bit. We're going to go ahead and sign Bones Highland here in free agency. It's going to allow us to trade Terrence Mann. Bones Highland's 2 overalls higher. He's 4 years younger. I think this one makes sense for us. Terrence Mann's going to be in a bigger trade. I think I'm going to try to upgrade the shooting guard spot. Now, This isn't maybe a necessity, but what this is going to allow me to do is get a higher overall. My experience anyways, typically higher overalls lead to more wins. So let's just see who the shooting guard options available are here for us. Again, maybe not 100% necessary, but Kyrie's a free agent. Maxey could be fun. I feel like I got him in a video recently. Josh Giddey would be great. He's just not under contract. Tyler Hero. Mikal Bridges, I get him a decent amount. Paul George will regress. I get Desmond Bane a bunch. Yeah, our options are not too many players, unfortunately. I'd love Jaylen Brown. I did not mean to do that. I just don't know like what a hypothetical Jaylen Brown package would look like. Never mind the fact that he's making $50+ million. So that's obviously a little tricky. We're 17 mil off still. Oh my God. Like, would I maybe even trade Pirtle in this? I probably would, just because it's the final year. I think JB is a huge upgrade. I did not mean to do that. This is a lot, though. This is a hefty price to pay. But would I do it one more first? They don't even agree to that. All right, we're going to work on a trade. Okay, we just pulled off a big trade with the Wizards. Kyrie had actually signed with Washington, and we added him to this team. Yeah, we're at the start of year 3. I went ahead and traded for Kyrie. I think he's a clear-cut upgrade here. And, yeah, we made a big deal. But it's a move I think was necessary. So it was OG Anunoby, Terrence Mann, and just I think 2, maybe 3 first-round draft picks. But picking up Kyrie is obviously awesome. So, I mean, other than that, at this point in time, there's really not going to be any other changes. Is Washington's overall going down? That is weird. All right, I don't really see anything else really coming. This team was obviously very good last year. I expect to be very good again this year. Let's set the rotation. Year 3 for us here in Charlotte. Last year was incredible. We won 59 games. We were a 2 seed in the East, second best record in all of basketball. Unfortunately, we came up short in the playoffs. We added a little bit of help here with Kyrie Irving, a little bit of a veteran presence. Obviously, NBA champion. I'm excited. So here's how the starting 5 looks. Melo and Kyrie, just an insane backcourt to think about. Brandon Miller, Evan Mobley, Alperen Şengün. Bench unit, Lou Dort, Jakob Poeltl, Bones Highland, PJ Washington, and Nick Smith Jr. So maybe not the best bench I've ever had. It is what it is. This team is still very, very good, and I have championship hope. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number 3. Third regular season's in the books. We tied the second best record in NBA history, going 72-10, and we definitely have championship hopes. Whoa, little voice crack there. Nikola Jokic is your MVP. Bam Bagioka is your Rookie of the Year. Men Thompson, 6th man AD. Stephon Cassell, Damian Lillard, and Jacob Underwood, our first-year head coach. So, I mean, again, this is all great. We had a really good record last year as well. Didn't mean shit. This year, we have far and away the best record in the league, but I don't know, man. I just want to win a championship with this team. We have a really talented group. So, stats are cool. Don't care. Let's get into it. Milwaukee again in round 1. They no longer have Giannis. They have Scotty Barnes. All right. I mean, I don't know. I think we're better. All right. Philadelphia 76ers here. Malcolm Brogdon, Tyrese Maxey, Isaac, Sasha Vesnikov. Yeah, I mean, shout out Embiid, but no thanks. Okay. Eastern. I almost said West. Eastern Conference Finals. Geriatric James Harden. Giannis is here. Holy shit. All right. Harden and Giannis, man. Back-to-back MVPs. What was it? 18, 19? All right. We're 2-2 with them right now. We go down 3-2. Game 7, and we win. Okay, thank God. We're moving on to the Thunder. I actually tried to trade for Josh Giddey, but he accepted his qualifying offer. He's making $13 million. And that just really didn't match up with any of my things or any of my contracts I had. Also, it's weird. I feel like every time I do one of these rebuilds, Josh Giddey is always gone. In today's video, he's still in OKC. So, interesting. We're up 3-0, though. We sweep. LaMelo Ball Finals MVP. All right, man. I'm happy we got the Hornets a championship. Obviously, it's a big turnaround in 3 years. I know with the 5-year rebuilds, which will obviously be coming later on in the 2K24 cycle, we have a little bit more time to let players progress. So, that's it. That is it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with this one. This was a good rebuild. But, yeah, man. NBA starts tomorrow. I'm so happy NBA basketball is back. Hope you guys are as well. But yes, obviously I'm going to get to the final 4 teams probably throughout this week. And that'll be it. We'll call it a regular season rebuild series and or regular rebuild series, I guess. And we'll get into some of the other challenges. So let me know which ones you want to see. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.